Ricciardo finally reveals good news. Aussie F1 star Daniel Ricciardo set to finally decide his future in the sport after being seen leaving a team's hospitality area at the Singapore GP. But where is the Honey Badger heading? Let's dig deeper into it. Daniel Ricciardo appears to be very close to securing his future in Formula 1, as reports emerge the popular Aussie is in an advanced stage of negotiations to join Mercedes as a backup driver for next year. Ricciardo, 33, is weighing up his options after he was axed by McLaren following an underwhelming 2022 campaign, with the team recruiting young Aussie Oscar Piastri for 2023. The 8-time race winner doesn't have a lot of options left, with only seats at Williams and Haas appearing to still be available, as reports link current Mercedes reserve Nick de Vries to a move to AlphaTauri, which would allow Pierre Gasly to join Alpine. As reported in August, Mercedes are considering the Australian as an option to replace 7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton, whose contract expires in 2023. And according to French broadcasters Canal+, the advanced level of negotiations point to Ricciardo moving there as a reserve driver. Last week, Ricciardo was also spotted leaving the Mercedes garage ahead of the Grand Prix, which increased speculations that he might be heading in that direction. Former Red Bull driver and manager of Oscar Piastri, Mark Webber, revealed he's spoken with Ricciardo over the weekend. He said the Aussie was still weighing up his options, but believes Mercedes would be his best bet. "I had a good chat to him last night," Webber said during qualifying in Singapore. "I still don't think he's sure. A Merc reserve driver role? Who knows how long Lewis Hamilton is going to go on for. Merc, a pretty handy operation, so it's something he might consider." Suggestions that Ricciardo could take over from Hamilton have loomed recently, particularly considering the 37-year-old's disillusionment with the sport over the way the 2021 season finished up in Abu Dhabi. However, Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff believes Hamilton said he has 5 more years left in Formula 1. "We are totally transparent with each other," Wolff told Channel 4. "We talk about the future also, and I think it's very easy. Lewis will be the first one to say, I can't do this anymore because I feel I haven't got the reactions anymore, or I've just lost fun doing it, and there is another generation growing up that's just very strong." He also said, "I have no doubt that whatever we agree on a contract extension, which is going to happen, that we both are always going to discuss very openly what does the future hold. The advantage is we speak a lot together. He lives here and I'm there in Monaco. And just last week we sat down and he says, well, I have another 5 years in me. How do you see that? I mean, he's the shining star in Formula 1, on and off track. I think we would lose the greatest personality Formula 1 ever had. Should Hamilton elect to retire at the end of the 2023 season, the Aussie would seem a sensible replacement to race alongside the impressive George Russell. Now let's talk about why did Hamilton tell Ricciardo not to join Mercedes. Hamilton had previously told Ricciardo not to accept a Mercedes reserve role because he is far too talented. He added, he should be racing. He has earned the right to be among us racing. If he's a part of our team, then great, but that role isn't what's best for him. If I was managing him, he'd be racing. What hints has Ricciardo given? Yes, I'm still keen to be part of F1, he said last week about his future. Of course, plan A would be on the grid, so nothing's changed. But as I said, I don't want to jump in at the first seat available. I know the landscape has probably changed as well at the end of next year with contracts or whatever, so I'm remaining open. My team is talking to pretty much everyone, and they're having conversations, so we're just trying to put it all together and figure out what makes the most sense. So it's not that they're not interested, and while I'm not coming from a place of overconfidence, we're just doing our due diligence and figuring out what's best. Trying to see beyond next year, because for me, I want to be racing, but also don't want to be just looking at the next 12 months and not the next 24. Prior to this announcement, Daniel Ricciardo's mega race goes underappreciated, and fans are not happy. Daniel Ricciardo had another disappointing qualifying at the Singapore Grand Prix. He started Sunday's race from P16. However, he finished the race in an astounding P5. Fans took to Twitter to not only praise the Honey Badger, but also show their disbelief at the rating he received after the race. Oftentimes, driver ratings that are released after the race have been criticized by the fans. This time, fans of the Australian were in no mood to accept that the driver scored a measly 6.5 out of 10. Ricciardo showed panache and class during a chaotic Grand Prix. His experience and talent paid off as he finished 5th, just behind his teammate Lando Norris. Fans stormed the social media platform to share their reaction to the rating system. Let's take a look at just a few of these fan reactions to Ricciardo's performance review. Fans react as Daniel Ricciardo is put behind Lando Norris and Fernando Alonso. The Honey Badger held on to his nerves and talent at the Singapore Grand Prix. After a wet start, the race saw a multitude of SCs and VSCs. However, Ricciardo held on to finish a brilliant 5th after starting the race from 16th. Despite that, he scored 6.5 out of 10. Daniel Ricciardo fans were also astonished as to why the Australian was scored lesser than his teammate. Lando Norris started the race in P6 and ended up in P4, scoring a 9 out of 10. However, the general sentiment on Twitter was that Daniel Ricciardo was being wronged by the scorers. Even Fernando Alonso, who did not finish the race, scored more than Ricciardo. As soon as these rankings were published, fans were quick to point out this discrepancy. They took to the social media platform to share their resentment. Ricciardo was also in the running for the Driver of the Day vote. However, a rating so low after such an amazing performance would have stung for all Ricciardo fans. Do you think Daniel Ricciardo deserved a better rating after his performance at the 2022 Singapore Grand Prix? And also, what do you think about Ricciardo's talks with Mercedes? Do let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Well, that's it from this video. We sincerely hope that you liked seeing this video. Please subscribe to our channel if you would like to see more of the stuff that we produce.